All right, now to give us more perspective in terms of what is happening at this moment in the Ukraine war, we're being joined by Mr. John Erath, who's a Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation, is joining us live on this broadcast. Now, Mr. Erath, Volodymyr Zelensky says that he has a victory plan. There was a crucial meeting that was to happen with President Joe Biden. That did not happen because Biden pulled out of that. He said that he was more concerned with Hurricane Milton, which of course is ravaging Florida at the moment. But do you think Volodymyr Zelensky's allies at this moment are convinced about the possibility of a victory, of which Zelensky claims that he has a plan for?
Zelensky has been talking about his plan for several weeks now. We don't know what is in it. It's confidential, and of course that's the way it should be. I take this to mean that Zelensky and the Ukrainian government are very hopeful that they will receive additional supplies. They want to demonstrate that there is a purpose to the weapons and material that will be supplied, that it's not just going to continue the fight, that there is a positive result possible out there. And so they have devised a plan to illustrate what those possible results would be and why provision of assistance at this time is advantageous to Ukraine and increases the possibility of military success.
Now, Volodymyr Zelensky has also said that the Western allies must send more military aid because the longer they delay it, the more harder it becomes for Ukraine to actually win this war. Do you sense a certain sense of desperation now creeping into Volodymyr Zelensky's tone of what he's saying?
I think that it's been clearly demonstrated over the past 2 years that during periods when the supply of assistance from the West to Ukraine is less or not happening at all, that Ukraine's military position is much worse. So it is logical that at this point Zelensky is trying to say, help us to make that position better and provide more of such assistance. If there's desperation, I'm seeing it more on the Russian side right now. Russia is undertaking some very serious losses. They are losing something like 1,000 soldiers per day and dozens of pieces of military equipment. It would be difficult to sustain those losses even for a country as large as Russia. Right. We're even seeing reports now that they're employing North Korean mercenaries.
My final question to you, Mr. Erath, is this. Now, Joe Biden is clearly a lame duck president. He has a few weeks more before the voting day. With that being the support that Volodymyr Zelensky can rely on, do you think his strategy of now relying on the Western nations for aid which may or may not come is a sound one? Because even if Joe Biden could not come for that meeting at the Ramstein military base, if there was more military aid that could be sent to Ukraine by the Americans, that could have been promised by Joe Biden even if he was not present at the Ramstein military base.
Biden will be president until January 20th, so it's more than just a few weeks. In that time, he's going to continue his policies as they are. The importance of the Ramstein meeting was not to provide more military assistance, but to coordinate among the different NATO countries as to who was providing what at this time. Without that element of coordination, the assistance that will be provided will be less effective.
All right, we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens in that very important American election that is on the 5th of November. Of course, he continues to remain until January, but we need to see as to how things, of course, change at the White House and what kind of support Kiev will continue to get from the West. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Erath, for joining us and getting us that perspective there.
You're very welcome.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.